Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Late Afternoon Glass Off. Joining me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Finley James. How are you, Finley?
Good afternoon, Zach. I'm going well, mate. Little surf this morning with yourself. Been working flat stick recently, so I haven't really been surfing much, but managed a little session at Lennox Beachy, and we did some board reviews, which will be coming to you shortly.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, other than that, man, not a whole awful lot going on. I feel like I talked you back from the brink this morning. You seem to be having an awful time surfing.
I've been having such an awful time surfing lately. I've just been putting these unrealistic expectations that I'm going to go out and surf like Conor O'Leary or Yago, and then I just end up wanting to cry.
Yep.
In a bit of a rut, I'm not going to lie, but hopefully that comes to an end. Going to Indonesia next week,
Yes.
Land of the Lefts, so I'm hoping to redeem myself, go spend some time in the temple and really talk to the gods there and see what I can rectify there.
Where are you going? Where are you basing yourself?
We're going to be up on the Bukit, so Bingen area.
Yep.
Although hoping to be able to just kind of dart anywhere depending on the swell. But funny you say that. I've been heavily relying upon the what are they called? Surf reports. Webcams I was going for, webcams.
Yep.
Surfline. And funny, you said that you referenced them as surf lies.
Yes.
I'm going to have to say that might be true because I have been going around town saying to everyone, watch this space. I'm going to be standing tall in huge desert pits. Every day it gets worse, the forecast. And I swear they must have an affiliation with some little warung down there that like they're like, oh, mate, bump up the 40 and everyone will come. And I swear they're doing it because 10 days out, they make it look like the biggest West Australia cyclone's coming.
Yep.
And then as you get closer to your trip, they just trim it back ever so slightly.
Yeah.
So I feel a little bit robbed, but hopefully I am wrong and they are somewhat wrong as well.
We've burnt any potential partnerships with them going forward, I think, from the last two episodes.
Yeah, we might have to delete this episode if they come knocking. For now, I'm not calling them surf lie. I'm calling them surf maybe.
Okay. Surf maybe waves, maybe not.
Maybe waves, maybe not. And I'm kicking myself because last time I went to Indo on a boat trip, I said I'm never looking at a forecast ever again because it annoys you.
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens, you should just be packing your boards for 1 foot to 10 foot, take a bit of a spread and just have fun because that's all it's all about.
Yeah.
Whereas I just look at charts that I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm going, yeah, that swells at 220 degrees and the period's like 13. It could be dog shit for that. And I'm trying to break it down and get like the best out of it. And I don't even know what I'm looking at. I know nothing about synoptic charts and isobars and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So I should just leave it to them and really not even look, to be honest. So that's coming. Really excited for that. Get some redemption. But this morning's surf was difficult at times for me to stay positive.
Yeah, I did. I saw Zach. He had a very sad look in his face at one point. He was actually threatening to go in, and I just talked him around. We stayed out. We actually got some decent waves in the end. So
yeah, it was that stoic attitude of yours.
Yeah, basically because I don't have any more time before you go away. We had to stay out, so we just had to grind the axe, and we did. We got some clips. So, like I said, that'll be hitting your Instagrams and your YouTube screens shortly,
and a little bit of a teaser. It's going to be JS related.
Yes.
Hot topic. They are definitely a hot topic at the moment. It seems like everyone's jumping on those. So we thought, well, we might as well jump on them too, and we did.
Yeah, we did a canoa, seeing what all the fuss is about, and I won't give away any hints, but they've felt pretty good. So that's it.
Yep.
But yeah, other than that, what are you drinking?
We are drinking today the Seabass Lager. So this one, again, by our friends at Yuli's Brews. Another fantastic can from these guys, looking like a bit of a washed-up fisherman, which we look like most times we walk out of the surf. So very on-point branding as well. This one's nice. It's the full strength.
He actually looks like you at certain points during the surf today with his hands out. He's kind of just got like a confused look, and that was pretty much you. So
like I'm sitting in the right spot. I've done everything right, and it's just not coming.
Yes, yeah.
But not like this morning's surf. These do taste good. And yeah, get yourself a carton of those. Support the brands that support us. And I just wanted to say a big thank you to our little community that I feel like we've built.
Yep.
It's not big. We're not an army. We're a small village. But this morning when we were going surfing, we had our boards on the beach and our good mate Yabby came up and said, is this the Largo podcast board review?
Yeah.
So just little shit like that I'm starting to notice. And then we went out and surfed and someone else was like, oh, the Largo boys are out here. Like they could just call us Finley and Zach. But the thing what comes to their mind straight away is Largo. And
there's also every chance they're taking the piss, but it's we'll take it positively.
Mate, like Jetstar, no bad publicity here.
For sure.
We'll take it all.
For sure.
But yeah, big shout out to everyone who's been following us on socials or listening in on Spotify or Apple Podcast or wherever you get your podcast from. Just by listening, you probably don't think that you're doing much, but we do see the back end of the analytics, and every click or every like or subscribe, it really does go quite far. And it gets us to sit here and drink beers and yarn and have fun while doing it.
And also, it also gets us some pretty sick clothing from Motorino, North Bondi. They've sorted us out with some clothes, which is we're really grateful for. We're rocking the hats now and the t-shirt. They've got some pretty sick knits too. It's a bit hot up here for those today. Was trying to rep them, but I didn't.
Well, you're in one now, mate.
Well, I'm in a nice tee. The quality of these things is incredible. They're thick, like they feel like there's substance to them. Amazing. They're real trendy as well, like nice looking gear. So thank you to the crew at Motorino. If you haven't checked them out, at motorino.mb on Instagram. That's where you'll find them. And yeah, some amazing clothing on their end. So thanks very much, guys.
Thanks, boys. On yours.
But yeah, and as well, like Zach just touched on, if you haven't already, you wouldn't think it, but these shout-outs actually do work. Like I can see the days that people follow us and on our analytics, and it comes up with like it aligns with our releases when I do these shout-outs. So
like someone now is going to unfollow so they can
don't
know.
unfollow. No, at the Largo Podcast and the Largo Podcast on your Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that sort of jazz. That's where you can find us. But yeah, we'll move into sort of our mid-event review again. We keep finding ourselves doing these, but it's kind of we kind of have to, I guess. J-Bay, it's been running. They're up to the quarterfinals on both men's and ladies' sides of the draw. Little bit sort of like, I don't know, hit or miss so far. There was moments on the days that they've run. Particularly, you had a bit of an issue with the first day that they ran, the ladies.
Yeah, I don't think they should have run. And look, we're not there on the ground staring at surf maybe every day.
Yeah, surf maybe, yeah.
But I thought there wasn't enough waves for it to be fair. Yeah. So for a 3-lady heat, you need 6 set waves for it to be fair on paper.
Yes, yeah.
And that's if you're in the right spot on the right side of everything. But I think for a 30-minute heat or 35-minute heats, what they might have been, you need at least access to 6 set waves. Some are going to be better than others. I didn't see it.
No.
There was heats where some poor ladies were just sitting out there and just staring at the horizon, waiting. And I feel like they're the heats that just hurt the most because you didn't do anything wrong. It was non-elimination, so it doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things. But from the couch, eating dinner from Lennox Head, I thought they could have potentially not run that day and just waited.
Yep.
To get the best out of the forecast.
For sure. I mean, look, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. As it's eventuated, the forecast hasn't actually been as good as we may have initially thought. They've had to go on hold for a few days, and maybe running that first day has allowed them now to set up for what is looking like a potential finals day on Friday. We're seeing on surf maybe some purple, which oftentimes...
I've never seen it.
Zach apparently has never seen purple.
Watch it turn to green again tomorrow. And then by Friday morning, orange.
At this stage, it's purple. So it's looking very well set up. They are making a call tonight on Wednesday, or like this afternoon. They're pretty much making it right now. So we're not sure whether they're going to run, but it looks like maybe Friday is going to be the day. Look, they're probably going to want to max that out. So maybe running that first women's day has actually worked out quite well for them. But you're right in that it's not necessarily a fair playing field. The ocean a lot of the time isn't fair, but when you're only maybe getting 2 to 3 set waves a heat and there's 3 people in the heat, it's every chance that you're not going to get the equal share of the set. So anyway, it is what it is. So on that, we'll move into our disappointments and surprises from the early days.
Plenty of surprises in this one, Finley.
Plenty of surprises. A few disappointments though also. First one, and you could argue this isn't a surprise because we tipped him to not win, and we're actually very proud of ourselves for doing so. Geordie Smith did not win J-Bay. We said it wouldn't happen.
I hate jumping on the back of someone else's misfortune, but I was secretly like, fuck, Finley on the podcast, we said this. He could go 210s like he has previously.
We got a high 9 in the heat before against Luke Thompson, which was, by the way, very, very well surfed heat on both ends. Luke Thompson pretty well had everything possible go against him. Began the heat, took off on the wave before the hooter. So that
is just something that you would not think to happen on the CT scale.
Nope. So did that, then got back out the back. I think he broke a board on his first wave.
Yep.
Then came in, did a lap.
He came in at the most difficult spot of the point. Yeah. Too. He did exceptionally well.
As a local would, but yeah.
It looked like, he could do it with his eyes closed, but you would have to think there was some sacrificial skin left on the rocks there.
And then Geordie drops a 9.43 on him, and then he still put some big scores up.
Did I see in that heat they saw a shark as well and they had to get
that was also they had a shark happen. So he had every possible thing that could go wrong, and he still put up a really impressive performance.
Good on the lad.
So good on him. But Geordie got through that one surfing really well. Came up against Marco Mignot.
You would probably know this, but what were the odds on Sportsbet on this thing?
Not as much as you might think.
Really?
Yeah, like $3. Three something. Yeah. Not that much. I did have a look. It may have been back because I think the waves were quite tricky. I think they were probably onto that. They knew it wasn't. If it was 8 foot offshore J-Bay, then you'd probably see that slip into like he'd be at $5, but because it was a bit lumpy.
I would have thought it would be $5 for sure.
Yeah. So Marco won that heat 14.57 to 11.17. Smoked him really. And it begs a question: is it easier to beat someone like Geordie, who's really well known for surfing J-Bay? That's his spot. He rules that joint. Is it easier to beat them when the waves are poor, or is it easier when the waves are cooking? Because either way, they're going to have a really good read. And you'd think as the wave gets trickier, that almost plays into Geordie's favour because he's like, all right, I know to sit here. I know like this swell direction, a wave will break there. This wind, like he's sort of well versed in those conditions. Whereas Marco probably hasn't surfed there before, or maybe very few times, rolls in, has to figure the lineup out on the fly, as well as you throw in some onshore winds. Like how do you read that? Is it easier when it's good to beat him or easier when it's bad to beat him?
If I was Marco and I was praying for a forecast, it'd be harder, trickier conditions. So worse conditions.
Yeah.
Because predictability goes out the window.
It does.
If there's white caps, I don't care if it's a point, it becomes more unpredictable.
Yeah, and it wasn't like windy, but it was that sort of devilly offshore but sort of cross-shore lump, ribs in the face, and that's kind of exactly the conditions that Marco maybe needed to get it done because he's got that unpredictability in surfing. Geordie again, he got pumped in this heat, but he didn't surf badly. He still put up 11 points, so that's about, 6 and a 5, whatever. But yeah, Marco, really impressive. So kind of a disappointment and a surprise in the same one. You got Geordie, who's bowed out of the event quite early. Marco as a surprise, who's still going into the quarterfinals. You got anything more to add there?
Well, as mentioned to us in our questionnaire that we sent out yesterday, was Marco supposed to be in that heat anyway? Because round 1 heat, there was an interesting talking point.
Weird one. Probably, I think we had a couple of listeners ask this, as you mentioned, with the Ethan Ewing, Cole Hauschman, Marco Mignot, round 1 heat.
Yep.
What was your read on that?
Yeah, I think...
Or would you prefer me to comment? Because
No. Ethan was ripping.
Yeah.
Personally, I just think Marco got a little bit robbed there. We broke this down beforehand. We just watched it for the people
again.
Out there.
Yeah,
We've just watched it again. Very different waves.
Yeah.
Both not capitalising the way that they would wish to. I feel like Marco probably thought he did a little more. I understand he disputed the score. Maybe he looked a little upset with
His
it.
dad disputed the score. If you saw, like, he was blowing up Deluxe on the beach. Not so much or he probably was with Ethan's score. They didn't show it. He's probably even worse. But when they dropped his
dad or his coach?
I think it's probably
Long hair dude?
long-haired dude.
I'm pretty sure that's his coach.
He's got his dad and his coach were there.
Yeah.
But they were both spewing.
Many words were said.
Yeah, many
a 500-word essay was completed in 4 seconds.
Yeah, he was not happy. Initially when his first score came in, so we'll give a little breakdown for those that may have not seen it. If you have watched it, you'll know what we're talking about. About sort of 3/4 of the way through the heat, Marco's got like 5-5, and he gets a bigger set wave for that day. Quite a good looking wave. In total, four well placed turns, especially
Depends if you call a floater a point scorer.
Yeah.
Some people love him, some people hate him. There is a time and space where a floater can be an excellent choice of maneuver.
Yeah.
Was this one executed perfectly? No, but was it a bad floater or just like a check floater? No, I think it was its own maneuver separate.
Sure. Yeah.
Although at the end of the day, nonetheless, a floater.
It was a floater. So you call it a maneuver because it added to the flow of that wave. He did a very good first turn.
Yeah.
Straight into the floater. So that's kind of a combination itself. Did get stuck behind the whitewater for a little bit. Made his way around and then proceeded to do what I'd probably call a half snap for Marco there, but still threw some water.
It was a transition turn.
It was a transition turn.
He was thinking down the line.
Yeah, he did still throw some water on it though.
Yeah.
And then went up into the lip on his last turn, through the fins. Little bit awkward, but nonetheless, he rode out of it, stomped it pretty clean. On a wave that you'd probably call in that 4 to 6 foot range for that day.
I'd go on the 4 side. But
Probably closer to 4.
Yep.
But, at stages during that wave, it did stand up and was maybe a bit bigger.
Great breakdown.
We then go on to Ethan. So Ethan has a similar backup score to Marco in that 5 range. Ethan's requiring a 5.83, so 0.1 less than Marco's wave that he got the 5.9 on previously. Ethan takes off on a wave that is, you'd probably say, half the size. This is kind of sounding similar to that Griffin.
You have to throw in the time here because there's no way that judges don't think about the time left and that sense of pressure and the storytelling behind it.
Sure. So 17 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah.
You see Ethan stroking into a very small wave, takes off, very nice first turn, wraps it back quite hard.
I'd give it like an 8 out of 10 for his ability.
Yeah, and for that wave as well. Like he
maybe
can do
7 out of 10.
He can do much bigger turns.
I've seen better.
On that wave, it wasn't giving him much. He did a big, nice Ethan wrap, took it all the way back to the whitewater, then straightened out, kept going.
That part was very flat.
Very flat.
It almost looked like he gave up for a period of time.
100%. The wave looked like it was done, and then he kept racing. Both waves had downtime. Marco's probably less downtime.
And looked more engaged throughout the downtime.
Ethan was kind of just hoping almost. Got to the steeper part of the wave though, and it started to bowl out again. And then he proceeded to do a very big combination of 2 turns. Proper Ethan snaps. They, in terms of comparison to Marco's wave, I think his turns were better. And if he had the same canvas that Marco had to run with, I think you're probably looking at 8 points at least for Ethan.
Yeah. Yep.
Marco did his best on that. That was worthy of a 5.93. The only thing I say, and I had some cards on the table here. I had quite a significant multi that required Ethan to win that heat. And Ethan finished the wave. I thought I was no hope. This is kind of where I was at with it. I didn't think it was the score. Score comes in 5.93, so he gets it by 0.1. I don't think they overscored Ethan.
I don't like it when they go like 0.1 over.
Yeah, Well, I mean, it's an average, so I don't think they're thinking about it necessarily. But
nah, definitely not. They're thinking.
You reckon?
Head judge knows what it comes out as. Easy, yeah. Every day of the week, no doubt. They know exactly what story to tell behind before. That's why when you see on the WSL when they had the live scores come up, how often do you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5?
Yeah,
bang. And unless it's a 10 and it's like a fucked up 10, it's always 1.
And then they're like, all right.
2, and then it goes flat for like 30 seconds because they're calculating the average.
Okay.
No tin hat needed.
Zach's got his tinfoil hat on here, everyone. I don't know.
No tin hat needed.
But anyway, he gets the score. I don't think Ethan gets overscored. I think they probably underdid Marco on his wave. I think that's the issue here, because the last 2 turns that Ethan did were excellent turns done on an average wave. So probably averages out that it comes in around that 6-point mark, which is fine by me. I just don't think and we've said this previously with Griffin and the Philippe exchange at Trestles, where Griffin was on the bigger wave. I think here, this is where you get that little bit of grey area where they kind of reward one thing at one area and then they move to J-Bay and it's a different story. And I think, again, hasn't really mattered so much because they're both still in the draw. But then Marco had to go on versus Geordie, who very easily could have taken him out of this draw. So, look, I think Ethan's score's decent. I don't hate that. I just think maybe Marco should have been a bit higher just to reward the wave selection and the size of his turns, because he maybe wasn't surfing as well as Ethan, but the wave elevated his surfing and allowed him to do bigger maneuvers. I think that's just the bottom line of it.
I like it.
Anything else really there?
No.
Nah. That we got.
I don't think there's a robbery there.
I don't really think it's a robbery per se. I think they maybe could have gone a bit higher on Marcos, which would have seen him progress. But
on hindsight, that gave him the opportunity to take down the big dog,
which he did, and now he's buzzing.
Everyone remembers that.
Yeah, he's now buzzing. So
Dave Huck's taken down Italo. Yep. Morgs took down Italo at Burleigh.
Yeah.
Did he? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
Morgs took down. Yep, he did.
Yeah.
So yeah, look, it's a tough one, and I think it's probably similar to the lob one where from last week in Bolito, where it kind of could have gone either way. In my mind, I thought Ethan did lose the heat, but I didn't immediately turn the computer off and go, oh, my multi's done. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, I'll stay and watch the score just in case, which I think speaks to it's thereabouts. So anyway, that's our take on that. Fair few people asked about that one. So there that is. Now, still in our disappointments, we went a bit astray there, but we'll keep running through. Very rarely, and I don't even think it's happened yet, but is my disappointment still in the event, which is Philippe. I've picked him to win the thing, but goodness me, he doesn't look that good immediately.
And a few people are starting to jump on the Whiteman 2.0 program as per some of the comments that we received in our questionnaire that we sent out. Run me through what one of them was.
So Jake _Owen on Instagram, is our GOAT Toledo a bit washed? According to Zach, he is. I'm still not. I think he's probably had his peak in his surfing, or at least he's not surfing as good as he used to. I think that's clear to see. Can he still elevate himself and get better? Yes, I think he's got time. But
I remembered when I thought he's Felipe 2.0, and do you know what it was? When they were in Portugal, he put out a YouTube clip and it was free surfing, and I was expecting that to be just the full fireworks.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
I walked out of there just going, okay.
Just another clip.
Yeah, like it was
good surfing.
I look like a spud right now saying this, but like for Philippe's level that we are so used to, and if you cast back through old video parts, it was like your jaws on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't expect everyone to do that in competition with the Rashi on, but if you're going to drop an edit, it's kind of like,
make it good.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Geordie is the best at that. Sometimes, doses down the excitement for a Rashi, which I totally get. You kind of need to. You can't go out there and try and make a video part every 20 minutes, 35-minute heat, whatever. But when you see Geordie Smith drop something on YouTube, maybe not his vlogs, what he's doing now, they're a little more lifestyle and whatnot, but like his clips, it's like, oh my God. I didn't get that from that one clip I saw at the start of the year. I went, he's just lost that edge.
Yeah. Looks and another listener said he looks like he's got better blocks in his leggy, which I mean, I can't. I still think he's going to win the event. I'm not jumping off him, and we'll get to our sort of predictions later, which we've already done, and mine still stand true from from last week, but I think he's still going to win the event. I think you can look at this either way. He's still progressing through CT heats looking average, which if you read into that, if he does start surfing at his best.
But then are you talking about ability, or are you talking about Mother Nature favouring and just being on the right side of luck?
Well, no, because I think right now he's on the wrong side of luck in his heats. He's not getting those set waves. If you watch his heat with Al Cleland Jr. and Barron Mamiya from probably the opening round, I think it was, he wasn't on the sets. He was taking subpar waves and turning them into mid-range scores. He never found himself in a set. And then there was a moment there where Al and Barron both found themselves on the best waves of the heat. They dropped, one of them got an excellent score, one of them got like a high 7. And Philippe suddenly was in a bit of in the hot seat really, because they only needed 5s to overtake him. He got that done. He just doesn't look like he's at his most confident self right now, and he's not backing himself to get those set waves. He's almost taking smaller ones because he's like, oh, I'll try and turn this into a 6 or a 7, doing airs and things like that. Whereas I think the old Philippe would have backed himself to just sit there, wait for a set, smash it all the way to the end, and get a 9, which he has done at J-Bay numerous times. I think this Friday that we're looking at with the purple blob or whatever it is, the purple rating on Surf Lies, I think this plays into his favour. It looks as though he's kind of struggling in that chop a little bit too. I think if you get some clean faces, he's going to be able to open up a lot more.
Can I stop you there?
Go for it.
Who struggles in those little choppy moments?
Who struggles?
Yeah.
Well, usually not Philippe, which is odd.
But just name some.
Do you mean still going in the draw right now?
No, just full event.
I don't know. Who are you leaning me towards?
I thought you were going to say like Erin Brooks.
Oh, right. No.
Katie Simmers, maybe.
The really tiny ones. Yeah. Look, and that's a good point.
And sorry, yeah, carry on.
Oh, no. My point there with Philippe is that because he's so springy, sometimes he uses those chops to his advantage and like
the chop off he did at Sakurema.
Yeah, well, yeah, like he's got that real explosive, like can turn on a dime sort of
trampoline
approach to, yeah. So oftentimes chops won't affect him in that way. If you look at it another way though, you'd maybe go, well, Geordie Smith can turn through those chops. He can push through them. Your Cole Hausman's. Mm-hmm. So like there's an argument either way there, but usually the chop doesn't bother Philippe so much, and it seems like it's affecting him in this event.
My point was going to be, on the men's side, I understand it can happen in the women's because the body weight's different. Mm-hmm. And I believe a heavier stature benefits chop because it's like a big boat. Just mows through it.
Go straight through it.
I don't think anyone in the men's should have a problem with chop.
No. And
not at this level.
Not at this level, Snake Tails. He's and again, he's progressing through heats. He's still here. He's still going. So let's leave it to Friday because it looks like we're going to get some good waves.
You know who that reminds me of in my era?
Who?
James Young. Jimmy James. If you're out there listening, mate, fucking love to connect. He'd be the guy who just gets a 5 and a 6 on repeat.
Yeah. Just really
never
consistent.
like at the forefront of like, wow, the guy. Mm-hmm. Great bloke.
Yeah.
But man, he was always in the semi.
He'd made, like, I was a few years younger than James. Never really got to meet him at all, but he you just always see him at the pointy end of the event, right? He'd always be there.
Yeah.
Just collecting trophies. And then, don't know.
I think he's a firefighter now, so good on you, mate. If you're
done
out there.
better than 90% of the other people who
Fair
were
enough.
groveling through that junior series, so well done to him.
Now, one big highlight. Have we gone into highlights? No, we haven't.
No, I've got another one.
Go.
I've got 2, actually.
Disappointments?
Jake Marshall. It's a very negative show today. Jake Marshall. Now, he stole defeat from the jaws of victory in his heat against Ethan.
Oh, that's that stoic attitude that I was talking about earlier.
He had every opportunity to win that heat, and he fell on every single substantial wave he got. And it was such a shame because he put himself on the best waves in the heat, and he was surfing really well from his round 1 heat. Not to his credit, but he only got one wave of any substance in the round 1 heat that he actually won and went straight through the round of 16. But it was like nearly an 8, and he looked really good. And then he went out in his round of 16 heat against Ethan and just proceeded to bog the whole time. And it's not often you see Jake bog because he's technically so sound. Even like had some really good ways where he'd get barreled, come out, and then he'd go to just do a pretty stock Larry for him. And his board seemed to just like be on a track and it'd just keep going and he'd fall
There was
off.
that one wave, he had such nice flow and he come around and then just did that turn. The board just kept going out to sea and he's halfway through, like his upper body's halfway through the turn. The board is just still going.
Yeah, it looked like it literally was on a train track. But,
Yeah.
and even on his last wave, he found a set, I think maybe even under Ethan's prior, or maybe Ethan took a small one just to hold him off, and Jake got the wave behind. I think that was actually the case. And he just like, he surfed it really confidently, got to the end, went to do a closeout Rio, fell. And it was like, he was a chance. He needed like an 8 on that wave. Could have got it. I don't think he would have with the way he surfed it. I think the wave just was lacking a bit, and then fell. So it didn't do himself any favours. But yeah, just he had every opportunity to beat Ethan there, and he just really melted. So shame to see there. He was my dark horse pick for the event. And then the final one who also melted was Aaron Brooks, and just absolute muppet. Let Tyler Wright go away under priority, and Tyler got the score, and that was that. Like, and she was filthy at herself. They panned her out the back, and you could just see she was absolutely fuming. So there's the disappointments.
It's such a long lineup. You can't give anyone breathing room.
Nah, and she had prior. She should have been all over Tyler like a rash, and she wasn't. So to let a world champ go away, a decent looking wave when you've got prior is a big mistake at any point.
How long was left? I didn't watch it though.
Not long. Enough time for her to close that heat out. So big error there for Aaron Brooks. Now surprises. Like I said, very negative show. There's actually not many here.
I've got a good surprise though.
Okay, well, first, I'll go through mine, then you do yours. Marco Mignot was one, which we've touched on. We don't need to go into. And then the other one, and Taj Air jumped in our DMs on our sort of questionnaire box thing that we posted.
Mm-hmm.
Is Connor O'Leary the biggest Derg on tour? And he spelt it not like
Derg?
No, Dawg actually. D-A-W-G, not D-O-G. So like legend essentially. And yes, Taj, I think he is.
Most undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly. So yeah, look, Connor looking really solid. Didn't actually put him in my fan. Don't know why I didn't put him in my fantasy team. Regretting that now. You did.
Mate.
I know.
It was the first one I picked.
After his antics,
I went to tier B first.
Yeah. No, look.
Threw him in number 1.
He's smacking the back end out of a few of these JB Wolves.
Although, mate, did he make it by the hair of his chinny chin chin in round of 16? Holy shit, I was screaming at the TV. He let him go.
Yeah, and they nearly gave him the
one
score.
person on planet Earth you do not let go. I wouldn't even let him go a left at J-Bay. He would do a punt, land on the rocks on his feet, and still somehow ride out on the barnacles, and they'd give him the score.
That was such a big error. Similar to Aaron, really. It could have gone sour because they gave him a 7. He needed a 7.5. He landed it, but landed in layback. If he stomped that thing clean like he usually does, they almost have to just give him the score.
I loved that he couldn't hear what the score was.
Yeah,
And part of him knew that, well, part of him felt as if he got it.
He got it.
And he was going, like, thumbs up.
Yeah.
And you can tell when he didn't get it because he was not happy, Jan.
No.
But rule number 1, they should put this in the fucking rule book, in my opinion. If there's 30 seconds left of a heat and you have priority, get in Italo's wetsuit. Do not let him anywhere. If you're not in his wetsuit, you've lost the heat.
Yeah.
I was nearly throwing my TV out the wall, but I'm so glad Connor got that one.
And who was your surprise?
I personally loved that Matty Big Dick McGillivray jumped out of a fucking perfectly working aircraft with his rashi on. Is that not the best fucking thing since sliced bread?
It's so good, man. That I don't actually know if the WSL was aware of this. It sounded like on the commentary that Joe Topel was completely taken by surprise. Now, whether he was or not.
How would you? You're not looking up.
Yeah, but like, mate, like, does he have to clear that with the WSL? Like,
100%.
Hey, I'm going to jump out
Imagine
of a plane.
the paperwork involved with a big splat case.
Like, the worst thing happens. WSL are just going, why did we let that happen? Like, it seems just so rogue that it was a bit of a spectacle.
I loved it.
Yeah. And
have you skydived before?
no, I never will.
Really? It's a non-negotiable?
Zero chance. There's enough ways you can find harm in this world. Jumping out of an airplane just seems like the stupidest thing that you can do.
It's amazing. You got to do it.
I'm never doing it. You'll never get me out of an airplane.
I did it for my 21st with Connor.
Mm.
We've got to put up the photo I've got of Connor. It's fucking amazing. They give you like these little triangle goggles things so that because if you don't, your eyes are pretty much at the back of your head. You're going that fast. And mate, it is the best feeling.
Great. Not doing it.
Nah, you got to do
Not
it.
doing it.
I forgot because I'm like a underground aerosexual, light aerosexual.
What?
You know what an aerosexual is?
No.
Just love planes.
Great.
Some aerosexuals like want to go out and drop their DAX and put their thing in something. That's way too far. I appreciate good engineering.
Right.
Big planes taking off. Fucking mesmerising.
Yeah, but you're jumping out of it, so you mustn't like them that
I know,
much.
but my story was we were taking off and we we're flying up, and you fly up in circles because you've obviously got to get up quite high.
Yeah.
And I was just watching, it was over Byron Bay, and I was like, look at these waves, like looking at banks, like, oh, look at that little bank down there. And then I always get the window seat on a plane because I just look out and go, oh, look at that bit of coastline. Next thing you know, the guy strapped on me back just grabbed me going, you ready? And I'm like, I forgot what I was there to do because I've been on planes like for work for so long. I just zoned out. Next thing you know, you're just hurling towards Earth. It is the best fucking feeling, mate. We're doing it.
We're not doing it.
If we can get this podcast
No.
If we
I'm not
can
doing
get
it.
this podcast,
I don't care how big this podcast gets. I'm not jumping out of a plane, mate. That's insanity.
I'll do it with you. I'll pay for your ticket and I'll do it nude.
No, I'm not doing it. Refuse. Nothing you could do to make me jump out of an airplane.
Bungee jump?
No, same thing.
Is it heights?
It must be.
Right. Anyway, that is the best way to enter your heat.
And imagine and I don't even know if Matt has an adrenal gland and like whether or not there's any adrenaline rushing through him. For most people, there would be. And then to go and come in, compose yourself, and then go and surf a CT heat is like, he mustn't just have any fear response in his body at all. It must just be just constant, just like composure.
Do you know when you scroll through Instagram, you can choose like the cover tile and then the video starts?
Yeah.
This is how I come about what happened. I wasn't watching it live or anything. And I saw him jumping out of a plane and I was like, my brain instantly went, there's so many clips of like on YouTube, you can Google it, where like there's a football game, like an NFL game in the States, and they try and like parachute into the stadium and they miss and just like they don't land in the stadium or they clip like the stadium. I was like, oh no, will this be surfing's first like live broadcasted? Like he hits, that big like, it's like the big structure at J-Bay. It's like a big dome. Yeah. Like, he just clips the end of that or something.
It ends up in like a line enclosure.
And then the best part was going to be, because the WSL have to like talk up surfing and whatnot. They don't say a bad thing about it. They have to commentate someone hitting a fucking event site structure. Like, oh, that was not entirely his fault or something. I don't know. I was just like, oh my God, imagine if it's one of those.
We've seen him do this 10 times. He's never done that before. No, that's unreal. Well, he's
big dick energy.
Put an all right heat. He didn't win, but he put an all right heat together. So good on you, Matty. We'll move now into some listener questions. A couple from last week. We'll just run through Trav Davies, Goofies, and Turns or win J-Bay. I discounted the Goofies thing.
And you discounted punts.
No, I kind of said. I actually said Yago might do punts, which I'm pretty happy with. Yep. I kind of said they won't win the event, and I think come finals day, given that we're going to have pretty cooking waves, if this wind is offshore, it probably won't be. I mean, again, Yago's a bit of a unit. He can do an air off anything, but the airs probably won't be as accessible. But so far, Trav's been pretty right with that call. Going upside down, had his comment, will the man in the grey suit win J-Bay?
Yeah, we mentioned that last
Very nearly did. And then Jake Owen with the over and unders on Joe Turpel.
Yeah, we haven't heard any, I don't think.
I counted 2.
Oh, 2.
I set the over unders at 4. So
no, I set it at 4.
I don't know. No, you. I said over under 4. You said unders. I said overs.
Oh, okay, right.
So I've counted 2. There's probably been more. I haven't watched every second of the event, but in the time that I've been watching, there's been 2. So we'll stay tuned for that one. Then we move on to some from this week. So Owen Kilby, why aren't body and board breaking airs 10 points?
I'm glad you read that because I read it as why aren't bodyboarding breaking airs 10 points, and I went, I don't know. Oh, I love being dyslexic. So good. Yes, so I believe he's alluding to Yago Dora's 933.
Yeah, we had a conversation about this in the surf this morning as well. Do you want to repeat what we said? What was your take?
I don't even know what I said 5 seconds ago.
Yeah. Well, I'll remind you. You said that you thought it should have been a 10. I said no because, and he did 2, by the way, both of them.
A 9 and a 933.
Yeah. This is a point break that runs for like 100 meters.
That's not Yago's fault.
I know it's not Yago's fault, but what are you going to score it when Yago takes off, does 2 big snaps out the back, and then does that?
Another 10. Because no 10 is the fucking same. It's not just like that has to be the same 10. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and not all
There's
10s
10s out there that were 15s.
Not all 10s are equal, Zach. There's an old saying that's been going around. They're not.
I don't think that saying's going around. I've never heard of it.
There's another saying, but it's from a famous book that you're not familiar with the reference, but that's all good.
What book? I'm horny for books.
Animal Farm.
Animal Farm.
Yeah.
I know the book, but I just never read it.
Don't worry. But yeah, not all 10s are equal, and you are right in that because it's like we've seen Philippe's. I've just referenced it, so we'll add that to the overs unders. His alley oop from the other year, or double alley oop. Both of those maneuvers are probably 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
You can't give it 14. You know, like it is what it is.
But just remember that the scale stops at 10
for sure. That's what I mean.
No one looks at it that way. It's like it has to be, and I hate it when they say a perfect 10.
Yeah,
no such thing as a perfect 10.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and look, there's
perfect to who? 8 billion people or 7 billion people we have on this planet?
The only reason the 10 matters is because you get your Yeti 100 or whatever it is. What are they called?
Big Esky.
Big Esky. That's pretty much all you get for a 10. In my opinion, as long as they get the scale of the heat right and the rightful winner gets through.
Let's say you get 5 10s a year. What the fuck are you going to do with 5 Eskies?
What are they called? Yeti 110s? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't know, Zach. They're quite expensive, so you probably sell them for nice little...
Could sign it and sell it.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd probably... You go, this is my 10-point winning...
Which
Esky.
10 though?
Well, yeah, see, not all 10s are equal. One might be worth more. Look, I think as long as the rightful winner of that heat gets through, then beautiful.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. Like, as long as you are getting through that heat,
and
whether you've got a 3 and a 4, and your competitor's got a 2 and a 3, or you got a 9 and a 10, it doesn't matter. As long as you get through, that's the main thing. But I'm of the opinion that this is such a long wave that there's every chance Yago takes off, does those 2 big turns, and then does a big backhand for it, and they go, bugger, we're going to have to give this guy...
No, well done. Here's another one.
Here's a perfect 20.
And then you can go in. You don't have to sit out there and get cold and attacked by a 10-foot shark.
Okay.
What's wrong with that? Like,
it's such a revered thing, the perfect
but
20.
You're punishing the surfer on something that could well have been not achievable. Like when they say if the wave was a bit bigger. What if a wave doesn't get bigger? What if the swell is tapering off? You're just going to go, sorry, you did everything right, but the ocean just let you down.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? I can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
So I see both sides, and I'm sitting on the fence. I totally get it. I'm not someone who wants to hand out eskies every 5 seconds. You've got to keep it sacred.
Yeah.
But when someone does ankle breaking stuff, or like Owen says, board and body breaking airs, just throw it. Who gives a flying fuck at the end of the day?
Yeah. No, fair. I can see both points there. We can argue that till we're blue in the face, though. Let's move on.
Yep.
Gabby's backhand, will she be competitive at Cloudy? Don't really recall seeing her get coned on a left.
If there's a lot of things women's surfing is progressing very fast in, and it's the aerial performance. I think barrel riding skills on the backhand in particular is not where it needs to be.
Yeah. And for some of them, it is not where it needs to be, but Molly Picklum, if it's tubing there, I think she will be very, very tough to beat. She has a very, very good backhand tube stall. She gets her bum in the face of the wave and slows herself down, which is very difficult to do. If you
Yeah,
haven't.
that's a level up
That's
scenario.
a level up. So she's the most proficient in backhand barrel riding. Gabby, if it's sort of suboptimal cloud break and they're doing turns, then she comes right into the equation.
For sure.
Katie and Molly, though, if it's tubing, will be the outright favourites there. And then on top of that, from Harris Lake, is Geordie a shot at Cloudy? And we've probably touched on this before.
Geordie Smith?
Yeah.
Everyone's a shot at Cloudy if
Yeah.
he's in the fucking yellow jersey.
He's not anymore. Yago's in the yellow, but he's right up there.
He's not going to... Theoretically, could he even not make it at this point? If he took sabbatical at...
No. He's like, I mean, I don't know if it's official, but he's not going to get kicked out, so it's fine.
Then everyone's a shot.
And
5 best surfers in the world.
Yeah, this is where it kind of comes into, like, I think Yago will win at Cloudy, but the men's and the ladies tour differ in that way still, in that given that the nature of these waves that they're going to be surfing, there is people that are head and shoulders above. Whereas on the men's side, it's kind of, they're a lot more locked into each other. Like, they're a lot more level. If Geordie's presented with a 10-point wave, he's going to probably get a 10 on it. He's going to make the tube, you know? So it is what it is. Geordie's every shot, but I just think... I think Yago will get the chockies there.
And if you do want to listen more about our scenarios and our picks, go on to the Lipped podcast.
Yeah.
We spoke about that
at length.
Yeah, at length. So great listen as well. I've listened to that one back and loved our little run with the boys there. Thanks for having us, Lipped boys.
Legends. Simon, who just dropped our beers off. Can Ethan go from the best in the pre-event to actually winning the comp? Has been all year, but hasn't converted.
Such a great comment.
Yes, he can. I think he can win the event, and it's not really breaking any ground there again.
He's the best surfer in the world with the worst event record.
Yes, yeah, pretty well. And his results haven't been that bad.
They're great.
But for his surfing,
he blows everyone out of the water. To Simon's point, blows everyone out. There's a YouTube clip every event before warm-up session at yada, 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 XYZ.
Yeah. And
you go fucking straight to WSL, straight to fantasy, and put EV charging on him. And then it's a quarterfinal kind of finish.
Yeah.
On average. A fifth.
For sure. And look, I think this is setting up as an event for Ethan where he's had a couple of things go his way. He got that score in the dying seconds of his round one heat.
Mm-hmm.
Gets the win there. Moves into round 16. Jake Marshall has a shocker against him. Probably had the waves to beat him in that heat. Now he moves on to the quarterfinals. I'll just pull up who he's got. He's got Connor O'Leary. It's going to be a tough one. I hope to God Connor wins. You don't have to comment here. I mean, Connor's your guy, but so is Ethan to an extent.
I'd love a tie.
You'd love a tie. I'll go out and say I hope Connor wins, but it might be that Ethan's finding form at the right time. He's now got Connor. If he can get past him, he's into the semi-finals. He's probably going to have Philippe, I imagine. Philippe's got Marco.
Mm-hmm.
I dare say Philippe will win that one. So that's going to be a really tough heat, and that could almost be his grand final there. If he can beat Philippe, to me, they're the two guys that I really think should be winning this event. Whoever wins that semi-final heat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, look, sometimes in events, you just have things go your way and it results. Kelly Slater always refers to it. Like, he'd get to like round 3 or whatever and he'd just go like, I just felt like I was going to win. Like, things were happening for me. And sure enough, it would happen, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So Ethan's sort of had that event so far and he hasn't peaked in his surfing at all. He's still got far more to give. And yeah, look, I think he can definitely go from being the best in the pre-event to winning the event.
Mm.
Final real comment here from a listener, which is Daniel Semo. After watching old clips of Parko, JJF, Mick, Taj, the surfing in this comp hasn't been amazing comparatively.
100% agree.
I agree, but only in the manner that we haven't had the waves for the guys to showcase that type of surfing. I think if you go back and see these highlight clips, like everyone's probably seeing like the JJF 10s where it's like 6 to 8 foot rolling J-Bay and they're getting barreled off the end section. We haven't seen that, so you're not seeing that same degree of surfing. It's not possible on those waves.
Mm-hmm.
Mick and Taj, like Mick's been doing it forever. Parko, they had plenty of years where it was pumping, you know, whereas you're comparing a massive portfolio of some of the best surfers to ever do it at J-Bay and their highlight reels from these events to an event that currently isn't that good in terms of wave quality. So it's a hard call to make. I don't think they've really gotten to that level yet, but only because the waves haven't allowed it, So
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
Which was probably overlooked. But yeah, it's
hopefully Friday.
You're comparing apples to oranges, really.
Hate that saying.
Do you?
Why can't you compare apples and oranges? I think they're highly comparable.
They don't taste the same.
Yeah, but there's plenty of things they're both fruits, both round. One's, you know what I mean? Like you can compare apples and oranges. That's the dumbest saying ever.
I see your
Why
point.
can't you compare them?
You're usually the one who has all these tricky sayings and analogies, and I throw one out there and you kill me. I'm fucking upset.
I hate the saying. Why can't you compare an apple to an orange?
You can compare a cactus to a truck if you like.
You can. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's stupid.
I agree.
Dumb.
I just thought I'd sound swanky and throw it in, but
continue to throw it in. I just can't. I've had that opinion for a while now, and I don't like that saying, but it's all good.
Let's go to Oxford and get it changed.
Yeah. We'll run now through the rest of the draw. So we'll go to the men's quarterfinals. We're just going to do our picks. We're going to finish off with this. We'll go, men's. So Heat 1, Yago Dora, Leo Fioranti. Who you got there? You're going to do Yago. I think the conditions are going to improve dramatically Friday. I think Leo's going to get through.
It won't be easy for Yago. I'll put it that way.
You what?
It won't be easy for Yago.
No.
And unfortunately, are we going to go through fantasy or no?
No, we'll leave that to the end because we're both not doing very well, and
I was, but they all just came up against each other.
Yeah, it's so hard to pick in these later rounds, in these later events, because you only got a select few that you can pick from, and then they make it to the round of 16, and then they all verse each other. So, Anyway, Heat 2, Kanoa and Griff. So this is a really good heat. I think Griff too. I think he's looking really impressive.
Really nice.
He's looked good so far.
What a fucking turnaround for Griff.
Oh, from
worst evers to winning events.
This is like a Gabby sort of thing to do. Like Gabby would do this often, where he'd start off really slow through back in the old tour when it started in Australia, and he'd sort of struggle in the first few events, and then he'd hit sort of about, I don't know, just past the quarter mark of the year, or like even halfway mark, and then he'd just find something. And
he didn't like the Vegemite.
Yeah, maybe the Vegemite was putting him off. But yeah, very Gabby-esque sort of year from Griff here, and he's peaking at the right time. Heat 3, Marco, Philippe. We already said this one. I think we both think Philippe's going to do Marco here. Yeah. And then Connor and Ethan, Heat 4. Just pick one. Don't sit on the fence. Don't be a fence sitter. Pick one. You skydived with one of these people.
He wasn't attached to my back.
Yeah, but he went up in a plane and jumped out of it with you.
Far out. Friday's looking like 6 to 8 foot offshore.
Imagine those big old...
It's going to be hard to beat Connor.
Imagine those big old fans of spray.
It's the best natural footer versus the best goofy footer.
Yep.
So
it's a match made in heaven.
If there's not a 50-50...
Yeah.
If there's a 50-50 forever is one, what is that a saying?
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Then that's the 50-50 on paper.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go Connor there too. You're going Connor as well. All right, ladies. Gabby, Brian, Tyler Wright. Gabby, but won't be easy again. Very similar surfing. I think she'll smoke her. Heat 2, Katie Simmers, Caroline Marks. Katie. Heat 3, Picklum, Peterson. Oh, man. I think it's going to be Lakey, but I want Pickles to win. I'll go Pickles. Heat 4, Betty Lou, Izzy Nichols. You'll go B Lou, I'll go Nichols. Okay, sir. Well, you're going to pick B Lou? Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, that's pretty much... We'll hopefully it does run Friday. I really hope they don't run... Well, they'll be running now if they're running. I really hope that doesn't happen, that they run on the Wednesday. But look, this is... it's all signs are pointing to Friday being a really good day. Hopefully we get a really nice finals day finish. Philippe, well, Connor wins, but if not, Philippe wins. And we're all just really happy people.
Well, it's got
Especially
plenty
me.
of time. It finishes 21st, which is Monday.
But they're talking finals day Friday. It's
Yeah.
talking that way.
Yeah. So they don't have to surf between now and then anyway, so which is good.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, we'll leave it there though, guys. Thanks again for tuning in. As always, if you could chuck us a follow on at the Largo Podcast on Instagram, TikTok. No one's on TikTok. We continue to say that. And on your whatever app you use to listen to us on, Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, really means a lot to us. And yeah, thanks very much for tuning in again, and we'll see you next week.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.